Anna,
Hi, Janu.
how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm great. I'm great. The reason why I arranged this interaction was just to get feedback on your
Mm-hmm.
experience renting with us, and then obviously moving on. We're always happy.
5 years ago, when we decided to look for a place for my partner and myself, we were first sharing, renting a room actually, and we were looking to websites like the Zopla or Right to Move or all these kind of online websites where you go and you do the specific search and all the properties appear on the area that you want or the specifics that you really need. And I believe was Zopla the one that we found the property with you.
How did you find that as a tenant?
It was pretty easy, honestly, back then. I know now it's a little bit more difficult or different. Time has changed, but it was pretty easy, honestly. I remember it was a Saturday. We just had the viewing, and with you, actually, you show us around the property, and we decided straight away. We sent you a quick message later, and the whole process started. So it was easy, honestly. It was
Yeah.
painless.
That's good. In terms of communicating with us,
Mhm.
was that okay?
In general, you mean during the whole
Yeah, during the moving process.
yeah, during the moving process, yeah, everything was pretty straightforward. I remember we had a few questions for the landlady, and you were always, in between us, communicating, trying to give us all the information. So was good. Yeah, yeah, definitely. We had everything we needed to take the decision.
Fantastic. Before
5 years, more or less. Yeah, we rented for about 5 years.
wow, like
Long
how time
time.
flies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
good.
that
And
has been my
obviously,
longest actually.
really, oh
Yeah,
wow.
promise. Yeah.
So
The last room that I was renting, it was through an agency.
okay,
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't the
okay,
owner. I did own it before in the past, but in the previous moving to the
yeah,
property to your property, it was in an agency. Yeah.
okay.
So honestly, we had some issues. We weren't lucky at all, and we decided to move 6 months later. And thank God we kind of put a clause on the contract where we were allowed to move 6 months. We were allowed to break the contract after 6 months because we had a lot of issues with them. And even afterwards, when we move, with your property, the property that you are managing, we carry on with these issues. It was a little bit of a scary situation, honestly.
Wow.
Not pleasant at all. Yeah, some legal funny issues going around.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to.
no worries.
But so in terms of comparing the two, did you
Yeah.
find it easier to work to have that experience of having an agency working between you and the landlord to
Oh
buffer?
yeah, definitely. Well, now my experience has completely changed. At
Yeah.
the beginning, I didn't had a good experience, and we were pretty scared, honestly, because of the situation. But when we met you and we rent your property, we were super happy. Actually, that's why we stayed for 5 years in there, because everything was so easy, and that was very nice, honestly.
Uh,
And so, you always have questions about like if we have an issue, how are they gonna respond? No, so when you are living in a place, things happen. Whatever it can happen anything. And without even, I mean, not like you are expecting things. No, so it's kind of suddenly happens something, and you want the agency to be responsive. And sometimes when they are not, it's not their property, you could have the feeling that maybe they don't want to take care, because they have lots of properties on their own, on the managing at the same time. You are worried that the way how they respond, they are not the right one. Because imagine, I don't know, you don't have electricity for any reason, or I don't know, your fridge breakdown or any kind of things like that. You really expect you need to solve these situations quickly. So I think this is kind of the first worry, because the feeling that we have is when you treat with a landlord or landlady directly, they kind of take care of their properties and they really want to be responsive, no?
Yes.
But sometimes you have these worries, no? Like you expect them to help you if there is any issue. So I think that's the worry number one. And sometimes as well, like miscommunication between the agency and the landlord, that could be kind of another one. Maybe like not being aligned together and then not taking decisions or whatever that affects you in the end. I think that could be another one, but mostly this, no, they taking responsibility for something that you need. You have a need, something has happened, and you need someone to solve it.
Yeah. And so
actually we very happy about, so things happen,
yes, absolutely.
We had a few issues.
Yes.
Normal, we had a few issues. Suddenly things stopped working, or leaking, things like that. And
drama of the last leak.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which was a managing agent responsibility, and it was just so convoluted trying to resolve the whole issue. Yeah.
Exactly. So and there you can see, that from your side you were all the time there informing us. It was very nice to have direct conversation on the WhatsApp group all the time. Any kind of quick call or quick message, it was very responsive, and at least we know that sometimes, if things happen on Sunday or Saturday, it's difficult to find someone, so it takes time. But knowing all these situations is kind of being informed of feeling, that it's gonna get solved, or there are alternatives that we have in the meantime. So we are very happy, honestly, and the way how in regards of all the issues that we had, how you deal with them, honestly. So if I need to pick one of these three, that will be good. Very good.
Thank you.
Honestly,
thank you so much.
That's why we stayed for 5 years. Otherwise, you move. There are many properties, you don't waste your time. Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to touch on was during COVID. Clearly, obviously, COVID was, the last 2 years has been unprecedented in terms of everybody's life. How do you?
Honestly, from this perspective, I don't think anything has changed. So we carry on having the same services. And if we had, I remember we had an issue during COVID, and it was solved in the same manner, in the same way. So it didn't impact us in a negative way at all. We carry on communications, and anything that had happened, it was solved as well. So that was very good. So it didn't affect us in a bad way, definitely.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, another question I'd like to ask you is whether you felt that, because we're not local to the property, we're based in Essex, we're a hybrid agency, and we manage properties all over London, different parts of London.
Not at all, because for example, just talking again about some issues, you could definitely hire someone, any service that we needed, and bring it home. So we really didn't go physically there to solve anything. No, you were kind of solving the whole situation. Even, and I was thinking now, I was remember at the beginning, the first week, I don't know if you remember, that we got locked ourselves outside. And that was a very bad experience on a new place, and suddenly we got locked ourselves outside because the door just closed behind us. Even in that moment, I remember, just the day after you were going through London to see another property, we could meet there. We could got the keys, the spare keys that you had for the property, and it was, it was easy as well to solve a situation like this.
I can't even remember that solution, but I'm happy you did.
It was a trauma for me. That was very
That's
scary.
So interesting.
That was a situation that we really need you there, and you were there, definitely.
That's so good.
Yeah, sure. So honestly, it was a one bedroom flat. So our family has grown. We have a little one and a second one coming. So it's just we needed more space. We couldn't get more space on this flat. And I have to be honest. Then before moving, we've been checking your website directly and
Oh,
see if you had something around
oh,
the area as well, if you had something that could match our needs. And it didn't happen by
yeah,
chance in that moment, but we really need to move a little bit in a rush.
yeah.
But in the future, if there is anything, you need to let us know for sure.
Oh,
But yeah, that was basically, so we really needed more space. and
yeah,
and actually we kind of extended for a
yeah,
long time, and as much as we could
yeah.
live in the one bedroom flat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're always happy for our tenants to move on to better things.
Yeah, honestly,
It's,
Tonu, when
yes,
so I remember the day I called you to tell you that we were leaving, and I told you I have two news, a bad one and a good one,
yes.
and I asked you which one you want to know, and you say, tell me the bad one, and I say we are moving, and you were so happy. I was like, that's not a bad. It doesn't feel it's a bad one for you. You were so happy, and so excited that we were moving to a new place. And that surprised me, honestly, the reaction that
Oh,
you had. And then the good one was that I was pregnant again, so it was like both of
so it was a
them.
double whammy happiness.
Exactly. So that was
Yeah.
nice.
I think it just ties in with my philosophy in life that
Mm,
people cannot be in the same place for the rest of their life, and you have to wish them well if they're moving on to better things.
yeah.
I've obviously seen you as a singleton, as they say, seen you as a couple, seen you have your first child. So I almost feel as if I'm part of the family, and I get very excited about things like that.
Yeah, that's true. You
And I remember
surprised
when you
me.
had Luna, I insisted I had a picture of the baby.
Yeah,
And I
we
hope you can
will.
keep sending me pictures of the babies. So
We
I'm
will.
really excited. Excited that you're both moving on to better things, growing your family, and the relationship is just as strong as ever.
Thank
Um,
you.
which brings me to wrap this up and conclude, and to say, to ask if you had friends. I know you actually asked me to send you the link of the property to send to your friends, but maybe just as a formality, would you recommend us to your friends?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And as you said, as soon as I knew you published the property, and I asked you for the link, and I shared it
Yeah,
with the friends.
yeah,
Unfortunately, no one was looking at this time, and
yeah,
everything, it needs to happen.
yeah.
But definitely, yeah, that was the first thing I
Good,
did, because the
good,
place
good.
is very nice, and we were super comfortable for 5 years, and the way how you manage the property as well. So
Yeah.
it
I
allowed
think
us.
as a principle, we look at the tenants are our customers,
That's a
and
good point.
without them, we don't have a business. I know the landlords provide it, so we try to marry, have a balance of those two
Yeah.
relationships, because number one, you need not just a tenant, you need a good, reliable tenant who cares. I mean, I have to say thank you hugely for caring for that property like your own.
Thank
Because we haven't had to do much to relet it, which incidentally we have done now.
you.
We probably have somebody moving in next weekend, but yeah, we haven't had to do much, to just little bits of touching up here and there. So we're very grateful for the care you've taken of the property, and wish you the best of luck
Thank
moving
you,
on.
honestly. Yeah, and please let me know if you have a 2-3 bedroom next time. We will
Oh,
definitely
nice.
talk. Even
That's
for
awesome.
purchase, as a next step, that was the
Yeah.
idea.